the same way the pendulum, like how we went from like we have to tolerate everybody's opinion or thought or to, well, if your ideology, your thoughts don't line up with mine, I don't have to tolerate yours anymore.
In the name of tolerance.
It's very backwards.
So, yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, too, if in this idea because I think obviously, and you would agree to this too, there's been so many things that have been good that have come out of our man's ability to understand and create things.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure. I think that's all still part of the work of God.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that, I guess, do you see when we've said, or people have said a couple hundred years, like there is no God? Well, in this generation that has so much information, we have AIs that just shell everything out. I feel like, is that something that actually will end up pointing potentially the next generation back to God?
I believe because we have the most technology we've ever had. We have the most medical medical insight we've ever had. We have the most advanced everything. We have, in a lot of ways in America, even solved economic issues. Like, no politician will ever admit that, but like, we don't really have poverty like we used to. It's like, there still is, don't get me wrong, but like, like we have advanced so much as a society, but the mental health problems are multiplying. It's not steadily growing. It's exponentially taking over. The mental health challenges, the deep problems of the soul. And what does humanism offer as the solution? Medicate yourself.
Right.
Oh.
That's the solution. Medicate yourself. And now addiction is on the rise. I mean, what happened with the lockdowns? Addiction just went insane, off the charts. Suicide is on the rise. And then we have these problems like school shootings, which the day of this filming, there was just another one today.
Correct.
And we can't figure out why we have these problems. And humanism does not offer any solution. So what are the solutions that you have? Like, the two parties in our country both offer a solution to gun violence, and they're both total garbage. I'm not sure what kind of podcast we're on today. They're total garbage. Like, they don't really solve the problem.
Right.
And I'm going to offend all the politicians or all the political people. But
it's because the humanism thing that we're talking about right now, like you said, there's no moral basis. There's no moral code. And so what it's driven by is driven by greed, and it's driven by money, and it's driven by
human
how
advancement.
can I get ahead? Correct.
Yeah, human advancement.
But like personal advancement, not humanity's advancement.
Right.
And
the reason we use drugs to help with mental health issues is because those drugs make people a lot of money.
Right.
Well, and there are some insights that we have gotten through medical sciences that indicate that some of those substances may help some problem. Like it's not
sure, and not everybody responds to the same medication the same way. Like it's,
but here's the I wouldn't say that the problem is, yes, greed drives the pharmaceutical industry, whatever. Yes, yeah. The real problem is the person who's suffering saying, "I just need a pill and everything will be okay."
Yeah.
And we've created that philosophy instead of being honest and saying, I have a real problem and no one on earth has the solution. That's the guy at the Temple Gate Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like, no one has a solution, and no one thinks they have a solution. Like, humanity doesn't believe that they have a solution. And that's the deception of our age, is that we think we actually can solve everything and we don't need God to solve anything.
Right.
And what's going to happen is it's going to give way to a massive revival, because you're going to find a bunch of people who realize none of this actually works, but Jesus works. And so I am really hopeful